Hi, and welcome back to On the RoadCast. I'm Vicky. You already know me, and I've got my great friend Julia Krauße with me. Hi, Julia.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
How are you? Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. I think Connie is still on the road. Hi, Connie. Hope you're doing well. Julia, we were just on tour together with SKYND.
Yeah.
That was a really great time. So for everybody who's joining us now and watching this, just a little introduction. Julia works as a tour manager. And Julia, which artists do you work for? If you want to give us some details.
I work for Saltatio Mortis. It's a German middle-aged rock band, and also for SKYND. For the first time in April this year, we were on tour together, and it was a really, really good tour. It was so much fun. It was a lovely crew, lovely band. I loved them so much. It was really amazing. So these are the two bands I work as a tour manager right now, and I do also other things. I do artist hospitality for festivals like Wacken, and I also right now I'm doing Kalkberg events. We do some solo shows there. It's in the north of Germany in Bad Segeberg. And we have solo artists there in a really, really beautiful venue. It's like a amphitheater, and it's really beautiful and also fun to work. So that's things I do right now. Yeah.
Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate and a lot to navigate, like doing tour management, back-to-back tours, probably then the Kalkberg events, and also Wacken coming up, which is the biggest metal festival worldwide. How did you end up in Wacken? How did you get that gig?
Well, I worked. I learned hotel management. So I'm a learned assistant for hotel management, and then I worked in a hotel for 7 years. But I always do some work at festivals in my free time. Or I also organize small concerts by myself. So and in the beginning, when I was trained as a management for a hotel management, I had to do an internship, and I did the the 6-month internship. The first one I did in Brussels in a hotel, just regular reception hotel things, and the other 6 months I did the internship at the Rock Arts Festival. And
nice, yeah.
that was the first time that I was introduced in these kind of work, and also in these big organizations and everything. It was really fun for me, and I loved that. And I did a lot of different things there, and it was really amazing. And then when the Rock Arts, it was in 2012, I think. And then when the Rock Arts, it was the last day of Rock Arts Festival, and the last band, and the last band was Avantasia, and it played on this big stage, and I was at the front of house, and I just sat there and watched the show and watched all this freaking crowds going crazy for Avantasia. And that was the first time I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to be a part of this. That is what I want to do for my life, for living. And because I really enjoyed to be a part of these kind of things that, help people to get in touch with the music they love. So, and that's that was the beginning. And after that, I worked 7 years in a hotel, did this in my free time, and then my supervisor from the hotel came to me one time, and she was like, "Julia, are you okay? Because I sense that you're not happy here anymore." And I just looked at her, and I was like, "No, I think I quit." And she was like, what? Yeah. And then I was like, I will sleep about it, and then I will tell you. And then on the other day, the next morning, I was like, yeah, definitely, I will quit. And then I just reached out to my contacts that I already had from these, from the years before. And I was like, I need a job in events, something. Just hit me up if you hear something. And then a colleague from also from Rock Arts, I worked with her. Sorry, I worked with her in the artist hospitality for several years, and she called me and she was like, "We have a job here in the company for that did Wacken, does Wacken," and I was like, "Okay, nice." And she was like, "Do you want to come to Hamburg?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then, I went to Hamburg. We had 2 interviews for the job, and then I got the job. And then I worked for Wacken in full time for 1 year before Corona. And
Of course.
yeah, and I was because the company who did Wacken, they do also a lot of other smaller festivals. So I had 2 jobs for this company. I did the artist hospitality for the smaller events, also like the Kalkberg events, and also Hamburg Metal Days and something like that. And the other 50% was for Wacken and another big festival but it's not, they don't do it anymore. But back in the days, they had 2 bigger festivals, Wacken and Werneren. And I did the organization of the crew hotels and everything. Because you don't have big hotels, because Wacken is a really small village. So you need to figure out where the 1,000 people that working there can sleep somewhere. Yeah. And that's what I did. And then Corona kicked. Everything's changed. Everything was shut down. Nothing happened anymore. It was a really hard time for everyone, I think. And after Corona, I decided to come back in the events as a freelancer. And that's how it started. And then I got a call, I think, in in the beginning of 2025, last year in January. And another colleague of me from Wacken, she was like, "Yeah, can you maybe do the tour management for Saltatio Mortis next week?" And I was like, "Next week? Sure, why not?" I never did tour management before. I just did artist hospitality for festivals. So I was like, I can do it. I will figure it out. And and then I met the guys from Saltatio Mortis, and I really love them. We have a really great connection. It's really fun to work with them as well. And they are so long in the business. They had their 25 years of band history last year. So
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, so they have a lot of stories to tell as well. And I didn't know them before, and it's always a little bit tricky because, especially when you're a tour manager, you have to find out how they work as a band, how they work with their crew, and what's important for them. And also what they have, everyone, every human being has his own issues. And as a tour manager, you have to find out
That's very true.
what,
Who's got which issues
So,
and who's got issues with each other. If that's a thing for some bands, right?
Yeah.
You don't know at first sight, and then you're like, oh damn, they actually don't vibe that great. Or
Yeah, right. And you also don't know how far can I go? Can I do some really bad dad jokes or something like that, you know. I don't have to figure it out what kind of people they are and what they need and what they maybe don't get or don't want. And you can't just give them the sheet to, can you fill in this for me so that I can that I know your issues and your, so you just have to figure it out.
Right.
Normally in a short amount of time, because you don't have that much time, because it's always a show to run. So
Yeah.
and when in the beginning, it's really difficult, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a really difficult day. The first day I did the tour management thing for Saltatio Mortis. It was on a festival in I think it was in Oberhausen in in Germany, and I didn't know anything. I had a call with two of them the days before, but I didn't know anything about them or what they want and what they need, and also what they expect from me. And it was a really hard day, and I struggled with myself because I just did what I think was the right thing, and
Right.
but I also, it was just I didn't know, so I just did something that I think was a good idea, and after that, they asked me how it was for me, and I was like, okay, to be honest, that was shit. And I don't want to do it like that again. I didn't know what you expect from me. I didn't know what our production manager expected from me, and I didn't found him in the evening anymore. And I just did what I think was good, but for the next time, I really need more information. And also, there were some other things that I was also like, at some point, I'm done, because when you're all in bed, I'm done. And we had some. I was really honest in this call, and I think they liked it. So they were like,
Right.
"Yeah,
They can
okay,
take it.
totally, we totally get that." And this
Right.
is how I prefer to work with each other. That I
Mhm.
just be honest, and also wanna to the other part to be honest with me as well,
Right.
because that's the best thing to work with each other, you know. Um, and if something pisses you off, then just tell me, and then I will change it. But
Yep.
if you don't tell me, I didn't know. So So
Yeah.
um, yeah. But after that, we really hit it off. It went really well. We have same kind of humor, me and the guys from Saltatio. So it's always fun, and it's a really good. They work really well together, also with the crew. So
Mhm.
the crew makes jokes of the band makes jokes of the crew. So it's really, it's just a funny family-ish thing, and it's really really nice. I'm happy that I just worked with crews and bands who are like that. I had other bands in the past on festivals, different and also difficult bands, and also difficult managements and tour manager as well. So, but me as a tour manager, I want to be also. I want to go on a show. I want to go in a venue, or I want to go on a festival, and I want to have a nice impression, so that they have a nice
Right.
impression of us. That they the local crew after this gonna say, that was nice. They were really nice. That was fun. We we would
Yeah.
love that they come back. That's what's my goal.
Mhm. I understand that. I once met a tour manager, and I also respect what he said. I totally respect what you said, and that's also my approach. Even though sometimes you just have to be, pardon my French, a bitch, because you won't get what you want any other way with some people. you have to put your foot down and you have to be extra bitchy. But one of my befriended tour managers once told me, Vicky, it's always best to be kind of, oh, we got somebody else joining. What the fuck? Somebody was napping.
Sorry, I'm so red right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You good? Hi, Connie. Connie, this is Julia. Julia, this is Connie.
Hi.
She just came home from tour. I said it. She came home from tour. It's your excuse. Connie, so good to have you. I was mid sentence in a thing that I was gonna say.
Please keep going. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
So
I'm so
embarrassed.
happy you're here. No, you're good.
Oh my God.
What I was gonna say is that one befriended TM of mine, he's a solid dude. I really love him. And he said, Vicky, it's always best to kind of the first impression to make people kind of respect you and kind of fear you. You don't smile. You just say, hi, I'm this and that person. And then you can be nice later. And I'm like, But then, I think us as women, we always want to be liked and we want to be easy to work with, which I totally understand. And I want the same thing. But I also think that he had a point with being like, you kind of got to earn your respect. And sometimes you just have to put on the neutral face and be like, not super overly friendly.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's a thin line. And sometimes you just really have to be a bitch or an asshole and be like, this is not in the contract, or you gotta act up, otherwise we're not gonna come back.
That's always a thing that you have to handle in every situation a little bit different, because sometimes you have to be. I remember the one venue we went while we are on touring with SKYND, and we got there, and then there was just one room for crew and band and everyone.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And I just
sorry
went to the guy from the venue, and I was like, is there just one room? And he was like, well, yeah. And I just looked at him. I didn't say anything. I just put my resting bitch face on, and I just looked at him, and he was like, well, there's another room, but we just prepared it for the after the concert. We have a club show here, so we just prepared for that. And then I still just looked at him, and he was like, "But I could open it for you if you want." And I was like, "That would be so nice." And it was, sometimes you don't have to do that much. It's just the look and the face, and sometimes it's just still work like that. And that's also
sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I did that last time, but I did it, and no, it was at merch. Yeah, it was at merch on a SKYND tour, and somebody was really funny and thought that he was like gonna crack this joke that I've never heard in my life ever before, which was, I was like, hey, what can I get for you? And he said, could I have a beer? And I just looked at him and I didn't say anything. And it was 30 seconds of silence. I just looked at him and I was like, you're not even gonna get a fucking answer from me. I've heard this so many times. There's just no reaction. And then I think he was really ashamed. But then he ordered and he paid and he was gone in no time. But yeah, I felt really cool with my reaction, just looking at him like.
Yeah, but to be honest, you have a really good resting bitch face as well. So it's always...
People always tell me, you need to smile more. You would look way cuter if you smile more. I'm like, man, I can't afford all the Botox for the lines that I get when I smile too much. So I can't smile so much.
Yeah, but I had this thing with why you don't smile last weekend on the show. There was a fireman. He comes in front of me, and he was like smiling, and I hate that. And all
I hate it
men
too.
do this, and I hate it. I really hate it.
I can't believe men still do that nowadays. I can't believe people still say that.
They're still doing this.
It's still a thing. I mean, how? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. People don't tell anybody else how they should look or they should feel or whatever. Just stay in your lane and be professional and nice, even if you're a firefighter.
Yeah.
I had a
Julia,
really
I
good
have.
experience
Oh,
with a
sorry.
promoter. Just jumping in here. Sometimes they can be really nice though when they see how hard you work and how hard you have it. Sometimes with all these guys. One of the promoters bought me a drink the other day because he said, "You really have them on a leash. You deserve this."
Oh, that's so nice. That's right. That's right. You gotta put your foot down, and then sometimes you get rewarded with a drink. See, that's really nice. Well, we had a lot of super nice people on the SKYND tour as well. Like most people in the audience were super nice, despite the weird or dark topics the band sings about. Right? It's all about crime and true crime and serial killers and stuff. And you would expect way more creeps to show up. I hope I'm not offending anyone. I'm into it myself. But I was surprised by how nice and cool most people were.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal guys. But yeah, that was really surprising. Julia, I have some questions for you. So you already talked about how you got into the music industry. You worked as a hotel management assistant and kind of just jumped into the deep end at working at Wacken and smaller festivals, which is crazy. I think there are so many people who want to work at Wacken. I love Wacken. It's so nice. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Unless it's raining, then it's not easy.
Or it's dusty.
But it's
and
still
too sunny.
nice. Right. What's your favorite part of the job as a tour manager?
Oh, good question. I think
Or what's your least favorite part,
well,
if
to
you want
me,
to start
the
with that?
least favorite part is the advancing. It's
Oh, yeah.
always a little bit annoying, doing this whole organization and planning stuff, and it's so much paperwork. That's a little bit annoying. So that is the
It's a
least
lot of
favorite.
paperwork. Oh
And but
no. You cut out, sorry.
oh, sorry. And
Also,
but
it's always like a weird. Do you like? Do people pay for the advancing? Do you do like a certain amount, or do you not? You want to make it as good as possible, and it's your decision how many hours you put into it. And I'm sure all the three of us put a lot of work into it, and
yeah,
is that even rewarded? So I get that that's her least favorite part.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I think my favorite part is the whole thing. So being on the road with the guys and the girls, and especially with the girls. I love
Of
them so much
course.
with skin. So
We're so cool.
and and it's always fun, and it's always nice because you get much more respect when you at the venue as a tour manager than when you're on the other side as a local artist hospitality,
Yeah.
stuff. So and also I get more reward from the bands
Mhm.
while I'm doing tour management. Um,
Right.
and they are always so thankful and so cute and sweet. Um, when you do a good job, you know, and that's I really love that, and I really love to. I don't know. I love to organize things, and I love to be in charge
Mhm.
for things. So it's really the uh, whole thing that I really love. So yeah, and I'm always I'm happy when something works out, and I'm also love it when it's gonna be stressful, and there are a lot of things that not work. We had this thing while during the SKYND tour. It was I think it was last the third last concert that we played, and it was in Prague. And
Oh, yeah.
our
You
makeup
booked
artist,
Prague.
yeah, our makeup artist, she came to me and she was like, did you get that with the drum stool? And I was like, no, I have no in-ear. What is with the drum stool? Yeah, it's broken. I was like, what? And I was like, just running to our front of house and ask my technicians what to do. And they were like, we don't know. And then I run to the from the venue to the guys, and they just give me a bar stool. And I was like, okay, maybe that works. So I took this stool, and then I was at the front of house, and we played the first song already. So it was.
Oh, yeah, it was during the show.
So, and I was like, how I'm going through this? I don't know. So I just pulled up this stool and just going through the crowd, and our Lampy was after this. Our Lampy was like, "It was so hilarious! You just saw Julia's red hair and the stool above her head." It was like, I don't know, fight my way through the crowd. I think I maybe knocked out 1 or 2 persons. I don't know.
That's fine. That's okay.
If they see this, I'm so sorry.
Much.
Again, so sorry.
Casualties.
And then they just give our drummer a sign. They just were like, drum stool is coming. And he was so confused. He was like, how? What happened? Okay, I just stay here, please, and wait for it. And then I came over the stage with the stool, and I just picked the other broken one and just put the bar stool there, and then I left from the stage. And our singer, she was like, I was so confused. I looked back, and then there was Julia, and I didn't know why, because she didn't hear about the drum stool at all during the show, and she was also so confused. And it was, but it was really fun. It was a really fun moment, and I love that that also our drummer could play on this stool. I mean, it was just a bar stool, but it worked somehow.
But that shows that he's really skilled. You could put him on a bucket and he could play.
He's a really good drummer.
But that's such a funny story. That's actually one of the questions that Connie and I always ask, is a funny or shocking or sad story, a tour story. But that's a really good funny story, because I didn't even notice any of that, because I was at Merch, which was kind of far off from the stage. So I heard of that story days after it happened. I was like, what? You exchanged the drum stool mid-show? And it was so hilarious when I heard about it. Connie, do you want to ask one of the other questions that we ask our podcast guests?
So being a tour manager means you're kind of switched on 24/7. You don't really ever rest. I'm sure you sleep with your phone next to your head, and you get very exhausted. And so sometimes you need a snack or a drink or something that cheers you up. For me, for example, it's like a crisp, cold Coke Zero that sometimes just gets me through the day. Or I love sweets or stuff like that. Do you have anything that you really crave sometimes to get you through a stressful day?
Yeah, well, I'm not that kind of a sweet person. So
it could be a steak.
Yeah, I know. the
nice. Nice.
It would be always
bloody steak.
No, normally it's always coffee. I need coffee.
Classic.
That's right.
It's really, and sometimes when it's really, really too much, then I just need a really cold Coke, but a normal one with extra sugar, just to just heat it up a little bit. It was also funny because we were at the SKYND tour. We were in Berlin, and Berlin had really shitty coffee, and it was kind of a thing because I need coffee. Also, if it's shit coffee, but I need coffee. So there was a round from my office to the catering, and there were some couches standing there. And the guys from the crew and the band, they sitting there, and I always came from the catering back to my office, took a sip of the coffee, and I'm always like, It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And it was really the whole day that I just did this. And also every time I was like, oh no, it's still shitty. It's still shitty for me, but I need it. So, and the crew was really, they really loved it that I did this the whole day. Also, always did a comment how shitty it is, but still drink it because I just need it.
Yeah,
I've
it's also
developed
super.
I started a list of like good coffee spots in every city. And on the tour that I just came back from today, I really made a big effort. I had a lot of coffee drinkers in the travel party, so they were up for it and they were always happy to go somewhere. But I made a really big effort to find a good coffee spot close by and go there every day. And I would always take everyone. So after sound check, for example, we'd all go. It's not always easy to find the time, but it definitely, I would even call it a self-care moment every day to like get that good coffee that keeps you going. So yeah, I'm totally with you. Shitty coffee sucks. All you could do is pour in a lot of milk.
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah, and
sugar.
sugar. Yeah, fuck. But the bus coffee was actually pretty good. But in Berlin, I remember the bus was not too far from the venue in Berlin. It was right there. It was not a dump and go or anything. But yeah, it's too much work as a TM to just go to the bus
Yeah.
all the time for
Yeah.
coffee. And I remember that I didn't even try the coffee at the venue that day because I saw the machine and I was like, hell fucking no. So I didn't get any of that. We are about to conclude this episode, I'm afraid, but we have one more very important question. I know that you love a lot of really interesting music. I'm so sorry I put it this way, but you put on some jams on the bus and I was brushing my teeth and I was like, oh, she really likes it? Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I fuck with it. But yeah, some stuff I've never heard. So now I want to know, what is your ultimate road jam? The song that gets you going, like the song that you would put on to get into the mood for the day or for a tour. One song.
One song.
Choose wisely. Yep.
Fuck. Sorry for the.
Oh my God. I know which song you should pick.
Which one? Tell me.
Oh, you know it. The song. The song. If I were you, I would pick nothing else but Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Spanish Flea.
But that's Jake's song.
No, he hates it. No, you can pick whatever you want.
No, I mean, I think I don't know. I really don't know. That is a really, really tough one because there's so much good bands and good songs, and sometimes I'm in the mood. And we played during the tour. We played Backstreet Boys in our backstage and danced through it because we just
might have to cut this part out. But yes, we did.
We keep embarrassed. He's like, no, I never did that.
And then also, I had this one time I just heard really loud punk rock in the production office, and the drummer came in and he was like, "Just checking." Yeah, so I don't know, but my all-time favorites are always some of the old heavy metal stuff as well. I don't know. I can't decide this.
Pick one song. It's not the song you will have to listen to forever. The only song is just something that goes on our playlist.
Okay, Mr. Big, Daddy, Brother, Lover, Little Boy, because I don't know, it's getting forward and I really like it, and I love Mr. Big so much. So
I noticed that. Yeah, we'll put it on the playlist. Yeah, that concludes our little episode. I'm so happy that Connie made it. Connie,
I'm so sorry.
From tour. You're fine.
I'm so tired, and I've been dreaming about my bad old tour because we had some interesting. It was a van tour, and we had some interesting hotels and sleeping situations, and I just didn't sleep a lot. And I came home and I saw my bed, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna lie down for a little bit," and I didn't set an alarm.
That's all good. I'm very happy you joined us.
So
Very
sorry.
happy you
Yeah.
came. You're good. No worries. That's the tour life.
I'm a tour manager. I'm very organized usually. Okay. Well,
I'm always.
thank you, Julia. Thank you
just
so much.
organize
Again.
other things, but I'm also not organized myself. You know, it's just like you
Just for
organize
others.
for others, fine, and yourself, you're a little bit chaotic. I'm a little bit chaotic always. So
That's okay. As long as the work and the business life is organized, we shall be okay.
Exactly.
Julia, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope
thanks for having
the
me.
near future will go super well for you. I know it's going to be super busy summer, and I hope I get to tour with you again very soon.
I hope so.
That would be
It
nice.
was so much fun. I really loved it. Okay.
Thank you so much, and happy weekend to all of you, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up or heart or a nice comment.
And happy Mother's Day to all the moms, especially
happy
Vicky's mom who's listening.
I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.